No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
All right, Johnny, how we doing? Dealing with some audio issues today, so hopefully this might be the best you can hear me, at least for right now. Don't know what's going on, but no microphone. We're using the we all can't have the technology you had on Ball Talk last night, all right? So doing the best we can today. We'll make it work. When you get talking, I may try to switch this over. I don't know what's going on, but it's Thursday. It's Bronco Nation News Live. We're presented by RowPaint.com. Make sure you check them out. All your painting needs, those concrete coatings, highly recommend them. Check them out, rowpaint.com. He's John Mallory down there in the rowpaint.com studios at KTIK, and I'm here in Meridian at the Western Collective Studios for BNN. And Johnny, it's Thursday. We're 2 days from game day, and looking forward to just counting down the minutes till we get back out there on the blue.
Think about the position that this fan base is in right now, BJ. Like if you're just a diehard Boise State fan, okay? You got a sold-out opener. Dickey sells the opener out against an FCS team. And I think the week 4 home opener helped him. I don't know if this game is sold out if it's played last week. I think that extra week might have helped at the gate. So you have a sold-out opener. First 3 home games sold out on your schedule. So your fan base is obviously pumped up to start this season. 3 straight home games, going to be a party. So you have that. You have, I agree with Spencer Danielson, you have the best player in America on your team, who is a sight to be seen in the world of college football. The dude can go to the house on any given play. Don't get up to take a leak if Ashton Genty might have the ball in his hand, obviously, right? You have the best player in America. I can even take it a step further. You might have the best player who's ever wore a Boise State helmet. He might be the best player in the history of your program right now, Bronco Nation, and you get a whole home schedule to see him. That's big time, obviously. So you have those. And your program right now is heading into this cool, intriguing new conference of like, okay, new logos, new teams, new away games, new opportunities, more money, more excitement. So you're like, okay, we got the home game, we got the best player in the country. The future hasn't been this bright in I don't know how long in terms of where we're headed, what league we're going to play in. Now all you got to do is go win a bunch of games this year, and then this thing pops in this town, BJ. It's ready to explode, and I think it will because you look at everything that's set up. You don't think JD is going to be able to sell tickets in a couple of years with this new Pac-12 and whatnot? This program's in great shape. If you're a Bronco Nation, or if you're in Bronco Nation, you're loving this thing, BJ. And they should even be more happy, BJ, with the coverage. How many fan bases get BNN and KTIK? We cover this program hard, man. It's a good time to be in this fan base on either side of it, man. Is that enough time? Did you get your audio or your mic fixed?
No, not yet. Still working on it.
Yeah, I can't keep doing this for you, man.
I know, man.
Jeez,
Hey, heck of a ball talk last night, man. I enjoyed hearing you and Mike Sanford. Mike Sanford even put on the Stanford helmet, and you tried to give him a play call, which must have been straight out of EA Sports 25 or something. But you did not bad.
Thanks, BJ. Man, that Notre Dame helmet that Mike Sanford has on his set. Oh man, if I ever stay in that house again, because that's his guest house, where he broadcasts from, where we both stayed. If I ever stay again, man, I better pack a big suitcase, because that Notre Dame helmet, Sandman, it's coming home with me. That thing's clean, dude. And I would do the same thing if I was a coach like Sanford. Dirk Cutter's done it too. You take a helmet from every school you've coached at, and then those collect over the years. I think that's a really cool hobby. And Sanford, obviously, he has a helmet from every single place. Really cool setup. But yeah, thanks for the ball talk. It was a lot of fun, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and Sanford's terrific. So
can you hear me better now? Is this working now?
Yeah, yes. Here we go.
I fixed it. There we go.
Way better.
All right. You mentioned Ashton Genty. You mentioned Portland State. The quarterback situation, we all read Mike Prater's column, the infatuation with quarterbacks in America. 8 billion people, and there's only 200 of them that play quarterback, and yet maybe no position is more scrutinized or talked about more than the quarterback position. What is your anticipation for Saturday? How many quarterbacks do we see? How much of each quarterback do we see against Portland State?
I'd imagine Mad Dog first half at least, maybe the first series of the second half, but let's wait and see what the scoreboard says, right? This might be a Tim Plow. You might not look at the scoreboard until there's a 50 spot up there, for this game. Portland State, not just the fact that they're Portland State. They're in shambles, even for Portland State's standards. So they're really limping in to this game. I feel sorry for Bruce Barnum and his program, what they've had to deal with. But so it's going to get out of hand. Mad Dog, probably a half. He's had a really good week of practice, BJ. I know a lot of the stuff's embargoed, so we can't say exactly what we saw. I could just say, dude, Mad Dog, the mustard has been on the hot dog this week. His practice on Tuesday, one of the better practices I've seen him have. That ball did not hit the ground. He was on target, BJ, against the one. Anyway, one scout team, whatever. Mad Dog, he was playing really well. I expect him to have a really good game, obviously. Everything's going to be slower. Everything's going to be smaller. It's not going to jump as high, right? It's certainly not even going to be close to as fast as what you just went through with Oregon. It's scary to think what Genty might be able to do with 15 carries. That's another thing, but totally agree with what Prater's saying. We need to see Malachi in this game, and we will. We'll probably see Cut Forth too, BJ. I think they're going to want to at least get him a couple of game reps if they do need him at some point. So we're going to see 3 quarterbacks. I expect them all to play well, and it's just going to further the narrative. If Malachi gets in there and I don't know how much they're going to let him throw if they're up 52-3, but if he gets in there and is highly effective, then that's going to start that. Even if Madsen plays well too. If Malachi isn't effective and Mad Dog is sensational, maybe that simmers a little bit and more of the fan base gets behind Malachi in that, or I'm sorry, Mad Dog in that regard. I don't know. We'll see. But quarterback position, I think, is in pretty good shape for Boise State, certainly this week.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll see Malachi Nelson, but are we going to see him in the fourth quarter just handing the ball off because they're up big? Or are we going to actually see? Are we going to actually see Malachi Nelson in a chance, maybe even in the third quarter or whenever, when he can actually run the offense and make some throws? I mean, that's there's a big difference between Malachi Nelson coming in, handing the ball off, maybe on third down, having to make one throw here and there to keep the chains moving, versus Malachi Nelson with the full playbook at his disposal. So, I mean, will we see him? Yes, but in what capacity? I think that's what remains to be seen. Because
maybe it'd be cool if you gave him some random series in the second quarter. I mean, obviously something they would have detailed, but they're going to say going in, hey, if things look the way we think they're going to look, you're going to take the second series in the second quarter. Maybe there's that type of plan, and we'll just have to wait and see. They're not going to tell us any of that. I don't even know if we ask Spencer today. I mean, do you plan on playing Malachi? I don't think he's really going to answer that. I mean, they don't know yet. They're trying to win a game. They're not going to go into this giving out reps before they even go start the game. So yeah, it'll be weird in what capacity we see Malachi. I do think late, I think Cutforth will come in and do exactly what you said there. Hand the ball off, find some type of rhythm, maybe let him throw some type of flat route or some type of quick hitch just so we can get the ball out, all that stuff. This is one of those get right games. We're going to talk about that on Idaho Sports Talk today, BJ, of, which players do you want to see get right this game? Do you want Ahmed to have, I think, 3.5, 4 sacks against Portland State? I think Bob Beeler told me the last time Portland State, or one of the last times Portland State came here, BJ, Curtis Weaver had like 4 sacks or 3.5 sacks against Portland State. It was like the best game of his career. These can be stat piler games too. So we want to talk about that. Who's going to kind of pop out and have a breakout game?
Well, one of those could be Breezy Dubar finally getting back out there. I mean, the last 2 games he's suited up but has not played. Then he had the bye week. You wouldn't expect Ashton Genty is going to get a ton of work in this game. But with that said, Johnny, where's your over-under on number of touches for Ashton Genty in this game? And how do you look at wanting him to put up big numbers, continue to help the hype and the Heisman and all that, versus get him a little bit of work and keep him healthy for next week?
I mean, like if this was a video game, and it's not, and you wanted Ashton Genty to legit have a shot at the Heisman, at least like get that invite, then you do something against Portland State that's going to register with everybody regardless of the opponent, right? Like on the bottom line, some random dude in Iowa is going to see Ashton Genty, 17 carries, 337 yards, 7 touchdowns. What? This guy needs the Heisman. Well, I mean, you could do that, but I don't think they will. You don't want to get Ashton Genty hurt in this game going for the Heisman, BJ. They have bigger fish to fry here. Video game in my underwear in my office? Yeah, I would probably do that. I'm going to pound Portland State. I'm going to set the all-time NCAA single game rushing record with Ashton Genty. 6 touchdowns? We're going for 7 this game. We're just going to pop out the stats. That's not going to happen, right? I'm guessing Genty 10 to 15 touches. His yards are going to come. He'll still have well over 100 yards. He's still going to be Ashton Genty, but then it's going to be Breezy and BJ. You said Breezy, obviously Sire. Over under yardage for Dylan Riley. I'll set the line at 39.5 rushing yards. What would you take on that? Dylan Riley, total rushing yards, 39.5 in this game.
Under.
Gosh, I think Dylan Riley's going to pop, dude. I think he's going to get a lot of carries.
Yeah, he'll see some time. But as I said, I think Gaines and Dubar get a lot of work too.
Oh, yeah.
Riley in the fourth quarter, I would take under though. I think
Gaines is going to have 100 yards. Ashy's going to have 100 yards. And obviously, if you can play Breezy, you're going to factor him in. You have to get that guy in a rhythm and get him some touches. But dude, Dylan Riley, you see him at practice. BJ, he's legit. That dude's good. That dude would be a nightmare for Portland State. Now, I don't know what the offensive line is going to look like in the second half. BJ, do you know who Zach Holmes' backup is at center? I mean, you can't play Zach Holmes. Think about that. Think how valuable Zach Holmes, a walk-on, is to your offensive line. You can't have another center. It's just got to be him. So I don't know who's going to be playing center in the second half, and I don't know how that line will look, but I would imagine if the line is rushing yards, 300, I think I'm going over on that too. They're going to run for over 300 yards against Portland State. This is a running football team. They have really good backs. They have a really good offensive line. Portland State has no shot here. They're going to run all over them, BJ.
I think they will, but I also think they want to get that passing game going too. They want to get some momentum in the passing game going into next week against Washington State. I mean, for 2 weeks, they've been talking about how bad the passing game was against Oregon. I think they want to get Maddox Madsen in a rhythm, get him going. They want to get some of these receivers going. So it actually wouldn't surprise me if, at least early on, they threw the ball a decent amount.
Would you say they're going to have more passing yards than rushing yards?
Probably by the end of the game, second half, when they start running the ball more. No, I would not say that. But I do think one of the goals of this game will be to get the passing game going a little bit, or at least I'd like to see the passing game get going a little bit, because you're going to have much tougher games starting with next week against Washington State when you need to have the passing game going. So, are they going to come out and throw for 500 yards? Probably not. But do we see them come out, especially early in the game, and try to throw the ball a little bit? It wouldn't surprise me at all if they did that. And again, that's a little less wear and tear on Genty too. If you come out and run the ball, then you can kind of sporadically mix in, Genty a little bit. You asked about the center. I believe it's Jason Steele, the San Jose State transfer, but Spencer said something in the press conference about getting him healthy. So I don't know exactly where he's at or who the next guy would be at center, but you're right. I mean, you would never think of Zach Holmes. Think about Zach Holmes. We've talked about his rise to stardom here, Johnny. I mean, 2 weeks ago, Zach Holmes was just hoping to see the field, and now they're like, oh, we got to get him out at halftime to keep him healthy for the next game. I mean, it's pretty crazy to think about. That. Jake Steele is the transfer from San Jose State. But
Cardona has played some center as well here and there as kind of a utility interior guy. So they'll be, but it's crazy to think Zach Holmes needs to stay healthy in this thing, dude.
I mean, you're talking Tyler Kyneth, the left guard, the guy that took over at guard for Roger Carrion, has played really well too. You're kind of in the same boat with him, a guy that was just hoping to see the field. Now you're like, no, you can't get anybody else injured. So I'll be curious with those tackles too. When do they try to, they're just so thin on the offensive line. If they do get a nice lead, do they try to get Casey out of there and keep him healthy, and Ben Dooley and some of these other guys too that they really, really need? When do they pull them?
Kyle Cox, maybe he gets some run at tackle. Is Connor Gilbreth still out there? I'm looking at the depth chart, my latest one. Those type of players, I think you're going to get those guys are going to get some run. Everyone you'd think is going to play that's healthy in this game. You'd like to be in that situation. If not, we're all going to be shocked here if this thing is a game at any point in the second half. I just can't see that.
Any update on Carrion? I would not expect Roger Carrion for several weeks. Let's just say that. We saw there was videos and stuff of him coming off the field. He was in a cart, did not go well after the game. And a lot of the post-game stuff, you saw him with a boot and crutches in the videos after the Oregon game. So, no, I would not expect Roger Carrion. I'm not ready to say he's out for the season. I don't know that to be true, but I would not expect Roger Carrion here for the next couple of weeks at least. And I think it's going to be maybe the championship game, maybe a bowl game, like for the center, Mason.
Mason's going to be able to get this year. Has Mason Randolph ever used his red shirt?
That's a good question. He
plays a true freshman. He was a big recruit coming in here. He might have played.
I don't know why Spencer hasn't really said much about that, because my understanding is he's likely out for the season.
I think you try to get this year back if you're Mason. For Boise State fans, they can get another year out of Mason if he wants to keep going through this thing. But man, that guy's went through a lot physically. I don't. This line's been.
He's got the J Tust injury. He's got the J Tust injury, the bicep, torn bicep.
Yeah, I mean, Tust still complains about that every day. So, yeah, that's a serious deal, dude. But yeah, this line's taken big hits. It has. Like, you've almost sunk my battleship, but no, they just keep plugging and playing. And we're talking to Tim Keene today. I mean, is there an assistant coach on this staff that Bronco Nation probably has more appreciation for right now than Tim Keene and what he's done with this offensive line? Are you kidding me? To walk on nobody playing center for you and playing it well against Oregon? What? That's tracking down a cephalopoid on foot, BJ. Nobody does that. This guy is working wonders with this offensive line. I don't know line schemes and whatnot, but I can know the end of the result. I can know when your quarterback isn't getting sacked, and I can know when your running back is leading the nation in yardage. You're doing pretty good, and it's been a rotation. It's been musical chairs at times, and they're still finding a way to get it done. Tim Keene, it'll be fun to talk to him today, huh, BJ?
Tim Keene has killed it. Potter nailing the run game coordinator spot as well, according to Nate Staley. Who'd you request for coaches this week, Johnny?
Well, we have two groups, right?
I know, but I'm curious if there's anybody else that I requested a coach we didn't get, and I was just curious.
No.
Because you mentioned the coach that everybody's loving right now, Tim Keene. I also requested Stacey Collins to talk special teams from the Oregon game, but he's not made available today. We're getting Tim Keene and we're getting Matt Miller as the assistant coaches.
That's fine with me. But, yeah, sure, Stacey Collins would have been nice. But you know how that goes. You request some guys, they give you some guys they don't, and you just kind of play the hand you're dealt, BJ Rains.
Yeah, you do. You do. I can't go a 40-minute show without complaining about something, though. So, yeah, would have liked to have talked to Stacey Collins, but I understand it. I get it. We'll get him soon, I'm sure. I think, there's a lot of storylines with this game, but most importantly, Johnny, it's stay healthy and win the game. You don't feel too worried about winning the game, but get some guys feeling good, get some numbers in there, and then get them out of there and win the game. I know we don't play the score. What do they call it? Score origami or whatever it is, where you do the comparing scores and all that, transitive properties or whatever it is with the scores. But I mean, Washington State put up 70 points on this Portland State team. Like what does Boise State need to do for you or fans or whatever? I mean, do they need to get over? I mean, do they have to get at least 50 in this game?
I don't think so.
To be feeling good going into Washington State?
No, just look good. I don't think there's any certain score you want to put up. I mean, if you put up 80 on Portland State like Oregon did last year, are you feeling better than putting up 67? I don't know. And again, Portland State limping as they are, it might be a situation where, dude, we're up 67-0. We don't need to score anymore. I don't know. Spencer Danielson, we've never seen in a situation up 67-0. Maybe he says, Sire Gaines, Ty Benefield, I don't need you to kill anybody anymore. We're good. So we'll see how that goes, BJ. But I will say the sellout. Do you give the fan a pass for leaving midway to later on in the third quarter when it's 67-0 and Genty's out, whatever the case is? Are we going to be sitting in the Paul J. Schneider press box looking at each other, looking across on the east side, upper deck, and it's empty like we've seen it in the past? I mean, do you give the fan a pass for leaving early on this game? Because it's a sellout. The first quarter, it's going to be packed, as you know. It's going to be lit.
Yep.
What's it going to be like in the second half? I believe Malachi Nelson might have the power to keep people in their seats, maybe at least till early in the fourth, midway through the fourth. Yeah, what do you think on that?
I could see that. I also think the light show that they hype up, between the third and fourth quarters, tries to get some folks to stick around. But yeah, if I'm a student, I'm a BSU student, and they did sell out the student, section even before the regular game section was sold out, and they're up 50-3 at halftime or whatever, and I got the bars calling my name, like, I get it. The students want to leave. I understand it. No, I'm not going to get on them for that. You get up big, you come, and then you want to leave early and hit the bars up when it's the game doesn't start till 8 p.m. I get it. For the fans, some of you got kids, traffic, everything else. I get it. You'd like to see at least, early into the fourth quarter. You'd like to see everyone stay for the light show, like to stay into the fourth quarter. But you know what? If it's 42-0 at halftime and folks want to head back out to their cars and tailgate or not come back in, I got no problem with that. But as David Hunter points out, that was the topic of Mike Sanford's mic drop last night, correct?
Yep.
Stay in your seat, celebrate the team.
The Sandman. I mean, he doesn't want fans to ever leave. He wants them to stay until the entire game. He's a fan, dude, and I love his passion for that. But I don't think that's realistic against Portland State. Again, you said students. Saturday nights are a really big deal to a college student, man. A lot's going on. They go to the game, they put their time in, they do their thing. They're up 67-3. Dude, you're checking your phone. It's okay. I mean, I just want to know. I wanted the people that are watching this show to think like, is that going to bug you? Are we going to read on Twitter people blasting each other in this fan base for leaving early? We'll see. Because it's happened a lot before. A lot.
People like to get on me. I'm a guy, obviously, that's not afraid to, comment on the fans and the attendance and things like that. But I got no problem with this one. Late game, you want to leave, at halftime if they're up big. Like, you don't like to see it, but I understand it. I got kids. There's time. If my kids are not coming to this game, but if they were, I'm not sure they could make it the whole game. They might have to leave.
What about Washington State?
If the game is still a game, then yes, you can't leave early for that. I mean,
yeah, I agree.
You can never leave early. If the game is still in doubt, then no one should ever leave early, no matter what. Avery Potter says never an excuse to leave early. Let's see.
How some people feel, man.
Fans stay way longer than they did 10 years ago already. I won't blame fans for leaving early, but I'm definitely staying for the whole thing. Our man Robbie Robinson says. So yeah, we'll see. I don't. If it's a blowout, I'm not going to blame anybody for wanting to leave early. The job's done. They got the win. You paid your money. Speaking of which, Johnny, on Saturday, some new concession items and things folks can pick up, including the Orange Chaos Seltzer. Our sponsor, Western Collective, they've got the Horseshoe Golden Ale beer and the new Orange Chaos Seltzer. Both will be available inside Albertson Stadium for the game on Saturday. So make sure when you're looking to have a adult beverage at the game, pick up a Horseshoe Golden Ale or the Orange Chaos Seltzer and help support Bronco Nation News and our studio sponsor, Western Collective, but also the Horseshoe Collective, as a portion of the proceeds of each sale goes to benefit the student athletes via the Horseshoe Collective. Our title sponsor is roepaint.com, roepaint.com. Check them out. Concrete coatings, interior, exterior residential painting, all your painting needs. They're the official paint and coatings company at Boise State Athletics when you're looking to get that next painting project done. And again, the concrete coatings transform the look. They really do. In one day of your garage, your back patio, your basement, any ugly looking concrete slab, they'll come out and do a free estimate. Give them a call, 991-0567. Check them out, roepaint.com. I'm going to play a clip here in a second from the Tyson Degenhart show last night. I guess we taped it yesterday. It airs tonight, 8 p.m. tonight. Do not miss this. Jeff Goodman, Johnny, college basketball insider, 65 minutes, over an hour-long interview conversation with Tyson Degenhart last night. We taped it. Great stuff. Jeff Goodman, our guest on the Tyson Degenhart show tonight at 8 p.m. So make sure you tune in to Idaho Central Credit Union presenting the Tyson Degenhart show at 8 p.m. tonight on Bronco Nation News. Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate, number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Check them out, BauscherRealEstate.com. And again, Rain's family about a couple months ago sold our home using Matt and his team. Tremendous customer service. Very happy with the process, and I highly recommend Matt and his team. Check them out online. Again, BauscherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets, ShopRidleys.com. They got 14 locations around the state of Idaho. Check them out as well. Again, ShopRidleys.com. Check them out. And again, next time you're heading to Treasure Valley, Magic Valley, all over the state up there, the McCall location's a good one. I recommend that if you're heading up there. But all over the state of Idaho, they've got great locations and options for you. And again, 40% off at the checkout line using that Skip app. Check them out at ShopRidleys.com. Johnny, did you see the clip I played of Jeff Goodman on Twitter by chance?
I did, man, and that's killer for Tyson and for the Tyson Degenhart show. That'd be like a college football show if Tyson was a football player. It'd be like bringing on a Kirk Herbstreit. I mean, Jeff Goodman, I think, is kind of the poster boy media guy for college basketball, right? I mean, he's the Woj, he's all that stuff. For Tyson to pull that, for him to be a great sport like that, he obviously has a lot of respect for Tyson Degenhart, which is going to be good for Boise State coverage somewhat on a national level. Jeff Goodman's aware of what this program is doing, and I'll be watching Thursday Night Football. You know me, BJ, but I'll have the Tyson Degenhart show on in my office as well. I'll be watching that.
The best thing about the Tyson Degenhart show, Ball Talk, any of our shows here, is you can go back and watch them on YouTube later. So when the game is over, Johnny, then you can go back and watch. And I'm not going to play the full clip because it was almost 5 minutes, but I'll fast forward it here. But I just wanted to play part of this clip. Last night on the Tyson Degenhart show, Jeff Goodman, Johnny, is talking about craziest places he's broken a story and talking about always having to have his phone with him, and you never know when news is going to break. And then a short time later on the show, some news breaks. Here's the Tyson Degenhart Show, a clip from tonight's 8 p.m. episode.
Craziest place you've ever, broken a story from?
I mean, plenty on the toilet. Plenty. I won't lie. Plenty on the toilet. I mean, it's funny because Schefter said today, there was a clip of Schefter talking about Woj, and he was like, we understand this business and our phones, like we literally have to take our phones into the bathroom when we're in the shower and putting it up so we can see if somebody texts us back. I'm laughing. I'm like, he's right. Like I've done that forever. Like my phone is somewhere I can see it if somebody calls or texts me and I'm waiting on something or whatever. And I'm trying to think of where else have been crazy places, but like, oh yeah. Like Lithuania, when I was there for the Ball brothers, there was one there, Lithuania, a Brian Bowen story that I broke at a bar in Lithuania late at night. I mean, I've had some, like that. That's one of the hard things early at ESPN was, so if you're out, you're out at night and it might be the off season, right? But something happens that's big with college basketball. You might be out. I might be out with my wife. I might be out just whatever at a bar, hanging out with a buddy. But if I've had like too much to drink and something crazy happens, and they're like, I remember they called me once. They're like, hey, can you jump on SportsCenter? And I'm like, I can do audio, but like, you don't want to see me right now, video. Like, no, like I can get away with doing it audio. If it's a couple minute hit, I'll be okay. But like, I don't. Then another one, here's a great one. Actually, I broke Kyrie Irving to the Celtics years ago in the middle of a softball game. I gave a buddy of mine my phone. I was at first base at that point. I think I must have gotten a hit. I'm standing at first base, and I gave him the phone before I got up to bat. And I'm like, hey, can you just keep an eye on the phone? And he yells at me, and he's like, yeah, it's done. Whatever was texted, it's done. And I'm like, all right. Oh, shit. I got to run. And luckily, the field's right down the street. I had to run back. I think I did a quick audio hit, but I'm like sweating. And I had to go back. Like, I don't know what I did. Take a hat off, figure it out, and did a quick SportsCenter hit for my house.
That's so crazy. There's just so many like places you'd never think of breaking a story from. And, you have it, it just happens that way. You never know where you're going to be at when you get that phone call or that text. And you got to make it happen. And you've been there, right?
I have. Hang on one sec. I got to break a quick. It's actually a really good game. You'll like it. Right?
Okay.
Hang on one sec. Hang on. Bear with me one sec here.
You can take your time. I'll happen to look and see if I can.
Hang on. You'll see it in a second here. Bear with me one sec.
This is hilarious that we talked about breaking stuff. Like,
I know. This isn't like the biggest one ever, but it's really good. Trust me, it's really good. I just got to tag him, and then I'll be good. You'll definitely like it.
we got the live screen of your Twitter here.
All right. It'll be there. And I'm not as quick as I used to be here on this. All right, just checking my it actually is fitting that I'm doing this while I'm with you. It's very fitting where the game is.
Oh, that's a good game.
But how about that I'm on doing this with you?
I know, and it's in Spokane.
In Spokane. Like, how cool is that?
I remember during COVID, they were supposed to.
All right, there you go, Johnny. Tyson awesome. On the show, and then he breaks that Gonzaga and Baylor are playing in Spokane during the show kind of randomly. So that was that was that was just kind of a funny side story there. But over an hour, man, Jeff Goodman was telling some great stories. All of his years, when he broke the Coach K retiring news, how nervous he was hitting send on the tweet. All the stories he's broken, just some behind the scenes about being, a college basketball insider. So actually, it was kind of just a different interview than Tyson's done in terms of not getting one of his players or coaches on, and I thought it was really cool, great stuff to hear from Jeff, kind of in a light that you haven't before. So the full interview tonight at 8:00 on the Tyson Degenhardt show.
What was the biggest story? Do you have that? I'm sure you probably broke stuff on the pot, right?
I'd have to think about that, man. I don't know if I actually have or not. I don't know.
I've been. There's been situations for me, absolutely, where I'd been under the influence of alcohol and something would pop up, like an emergency presser. Or like especially during COVID where everything was on Zoom and you got this. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to hop on here right now. No way. That type of thing. That does get in the way when stuff happens. Like a lot of people have jobs where, if something happens right then and there, you got to act to it. So that's a really cool story though for Jeff Goodman. That's a good show.
8:00 tonight will be the full episode, the full interview. Make sure you check out tonight, 8:00 on Bronco Nation News with Tyson Degenhardt and our friend Jeff Goodman. Johnny, I'm going to thank our last few sponsors here, and then we'll finish up talking BSU football. Snake River Pool and Spa. Check them out, thespateam.com. Snake River Pool and Spa, patio and game, whether it's a spa for the back patio, you want that pool table for the game room. My wife really wants a sauna. That may be next on the list. Check them out, thespateam.com. Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa, been around since 1978. Check out they're part of the Boise State home team. Check them out. View their full inventory, thespateam.com. Speaking of viewing their full inventory, how about LithiaFordBoise.com? You can check out all the cars and trucks available at Lithia Ford of Boise, the fall kickoff sale. And again, we appreciate them. They're a huge supporter of Boise State, huge supporter of Bronco Nation News. They got 6 student athletes driving vehicles from Lithia Ford, and they were the first one with Riley Smith to do the commercial with a student athlete in their uniform at Boise State on the blue. So return the favor next time you're looking to buy a car or truck. Make sure you do it at Lithia Ford Boise. We got to get Johnny out there soon for another on-location show at Taco Bell. I know he was loving the breakfast there last year. TacoBellWorks.com. They are hiring. If you're looking for a job, check them out. Great promotional opportunities, free food while you work. You get half your wages the very next day after your shift. So a lot of great things going on with our friends at Taco Bell, the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family. So check them out, TacoBellWorks.com. If you're looking for a job, Transportation Compliance Service can also help you out. TranscomService.com. You want to get into the trucking industry, all the permits and things you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. Check them out at TranscomService.com. The Blue and Orange Store, Johnny, it is a whiteout on Saturday. If folks are going to the game on Saturday, wear white. And if you need a new white shirt, sweatshirt, hat, check it out, the Blue and Orange Store. The blueandorange.store.com. You can order from anywhere around the world, or you can just go to the Boise Town Square Mall there on the second floor next to Pro Image. And again, the best selection, the greatest prices. Check out our friends at the Blue and Orange Store. Hopefully on Monday, you can get that 91-cent coffee or fountain drink at Jackson's. Ahmed Hassanin gets a sack. You get a 91-cent coffee or fountain drink at Jackson's. And this might be the game, Johnny. Breezy Dubar, the Breezy Bundle. You get a hot dog and a soda for $1 on Tuesdays after Breezy Dubar finds the end zone. So maybe this will be the game that happens. The Breezy Bundle. Check out our friends at Jackson's. And don't forget, 25 cents from every hot dog sold goes to support the Horseshoe Collective. And speaking of food, check out Lean Feast, leanfeastmeridian.com. Our friends at leanfeastmeridian.com, 10,000 plus combinations, great healthy meal options, and highly recommend it. And they now deliver anywhere in the Treasure Valley, so there's no excuse to not eat healthy. Saw some of the players walking out with Lean Feast yesterday, Johnny, or the day before. They're feeding the football team, the basketball team, and they can do it for you as well. leanfeastmeridian.com. All right, Johnny, the game on Saturday. Again, I know we said it earlier, just you don't want to get anybody hurt. You want to just get everybody healthy, move on to Washington State. You mentioned the get-right game. Who for you on today's show will you be talking? I mean, is it Prince Strawn? Is it Austin Bolt? I mean, some of the receivers, you want to see them get going? Like, who needs to, quote-unquote, get right for you in this game?
I'd love to see, like, Prince or Austin Bolt, like, on, say, a quick slant or, like, a drag route, like a short intermediate reception, make a guy or two miss and just house it. I'd like to see Austin Bolt, Prince Strawn, a lot of these guys kind of just, announce their presence with authority and just show that they are bigger, faster, and stronger than the competition. So that would be nice. Yeah, it'd be cool to see. But again, I don't know how many passing yards you're going to have. I don't know how many completions there will be to go around, because I'd love to see Matt Lauder go 5 catches, 77 yards in a teeter. I love that game. I know Lauder, I talked to him a couple days ago. He'd love to have that game too. It's not the most important thing, but hell yeah, these guys want to score. They want to get the rock. They've done well in practice. We've seen it. We've seen what a weapon Matt Lauder has been since spring ball. So sure, I'd like to see some Y cross called for our boy Matt Lauder. And Breezy, the Breezy bundle. Let's get everybody a dog. Let's get hook people up. This was the guy of all the players, I believe last year, maybe it was McAllister, but I think Breezy was second on this team in scrimmage yards last year. Maybe it's third if you count McAllister, BJ. So people were interested to see what he was going to do. Like, he was a player for this team last year, and he's just battled injuries, and he's in a really tough running back room. They don't need to bring him back, right? It's not some mega necessity where, hey, Breezy, if he's 70, 75%, we're still going to roll him. We need to play him. We need it. They don't. But I would like to see Breezy get in some type of a rhythm. Those are a couple guys for me. Defensively, I don't know. I mean, it would be cool to see Ahmed win Mountain West Defensive Player of the Week with a 4-sack game, something like that. Sure.
Let's see.
Who are yours?
Well, I mean, I already said I think you want to see the receivers get going for sure. Yeah. I'd like to see, you mentioned Matt Lauder earlier. I mean, Matt Lauder hasn't done a whole lot in the passing game either. The tight end position in general, you'd really like to see them get going. I think someone brought up Chris Marshall. You'd like to see him really start to become more of a factor in this offense as well. And, Let It Roll says, hey, the passing game, just get the passing game right. He says they better throw it all. They better throw it all over the yard. Need to give future defenses more to worry about than just stopping Ashton Genty. If you don't even show you can pass the ball against Portland State, then certainly teams like Washington State, Johnny, are going to continue to just load the box. That's why I really do think the passing game and getting that going tomorrow is important.
What's a completion percentage for Maddox Madsen that will pass the BJ Rains end-all, be-all ultimate evaluation test?
I mean, he was 17 of 40 in the last game. I mean, he's got to be over 60% probably at least.
Okay. That's a passing grade, over 60%.
Get over 60%, throw a couple of touchdowns, throw for some yards, just show that you can make some of those tough throws if needed. I mean, again, they don't play the game on paper, Johnny. You got to actually play the game, but this should not be a close game. This should be a blowout. They should win this game big. But I'm just excited, Johnny, as we kind of wrap this up here. I mean, I'm just excited for a home game. It's been 300 days or whatever it's been since they've had a home game on the Blue. The last team in college football to get a home game. They've been testing out the sound system, and it's going to be a huge, huge upgrade from the piece of crap sound system they've had the last couple of years. I mean, they would play the Seven Nation Army song when the team was getting ready to run out of the tunnel the last couple of years, and the bass was just so bad on the sound system that it just sounded terrible. I think that this sound system is going to be so much better. It's going to make a huge difference. You throw in it being a night game, Johnny, with the light show, maybe not at kickoff. It's not going to be, dark when they come out, but for different parts of the game, they're going to mix in some things with the lights on commercial breaks and things. And I mean, again, we've been to a lot of places. We've covered games at a lot of places, seen NFL college games. There's just something fun and special about a Saturday night game on the Blue. And for the fans that have waited this long, for the players that have waited this long, heck, for us, I think it's going to be fun to be back in a packed Albertson Stadium on Saturday.
South end zone. How many false start penalties is Portland State going to have? They start that counter this year. And, they are not lying when they talk about the South end zone and the volume and the passion and the chaos. I mean, that is a massive factor. That end zone is I don't know, NFL, SEC, Big Ten loud. It really is. And they do a terrific job. And it's that sound just goes right there on the field. And it's almost like the south end zone can cause false starts even when the opposition is inside their own 20 on the north end. It's it's loud. So I like seeing that too. They play the music or the backup sound effect. So yeah, it's been a long time, BJ, since we've been in there, and we were informed on this, there are new food options, new food protocol, new food systems for the media members in the Paul J. Schneider press box. That's going to be sensational. Sodas?
Well, yeah, soda's going to be nice. What'd they say? Cookies or popcorn or something at halftime? I know.
Chocolate eruption, Rocky Road. Like, I feel like Chunk on Goonies in the freezer there. What? Chocolate eruption? Like, we got all this cool stuff coming in the media room too. So yeah, Saturday can't get here enough.
I was going to ask you, you must have been in a hurry yesterday to run out of there, because I usually don't see you to turn down a free meal. And you left before I made sure I stayed. Oh, I stayed. But they had the meal yesterday that the coaches were having. I guess they had leftovers or had extra, and for a rare occurrence, they offered the media, anyone that wants to get a plate of lunch can go for it. And I thought Johnny would have been all over that, and you hurried out of there pretty quick, though.
I ate. You don't lose 40 pounds like I have, but I wanted to.
Enchiladas and chips and everything else that, yeah.
What place was that?
Roger Carrion's mom actually made the enchiladas and some of the other food.
She made all that? Wow, yeah, that was a feast, man.
That's disrespectful, man. You told Roger Carrion's mom you'd rather hurry out of there than have some of her enchiladas.
Had to get back to the station, had to put the show together.
Yeah, no, I was surprised. Usually when I turned my head, first one in line would have been you, and you were already out of there. So, no, we appreciate Boise.
Jokes. I love you.
Says the guy that when they put the cookies out at halftime, runs in the middle of the second quarter to sneak and grab them to make sure he gets them. Yeah.
I got to stay up, man. I'm hosting Bronco game night. I need that.
What do we got today on Idaho Sports Talk?
We have Bob Thompson, the former director of Fox Sports. He was a co-founder of the Big Ten Network. This is a guy who's done deals. He's going to talk about the new Pac-12, what type of money they can expect, just his overall thoughts on the future success of that league. BJ, we're talking
Spencer Danielson.
Oh, yeah, Danielson presser, a get-right game, and we'll pick some college football and NFL football games as well today, and some good stuff. I think we're giving away tickets. We are. We're giving away tickets to Boise State, Portland State. It's sold out. If you really want to go to this game, you'll have a chance to win some of those today on Idaho Sports Talk. Thanks, BJ.
3 to 6. Make sure you check out Idaho Sports Talk 3 to 6. That's 95.3 FM, 1350 AM, KTIK.com with the live stream, the KTIK app. And if you aren't able to catch it live, you can go back and listen, download their app in the Apple App Store. A lot of great ways, and great stuff coming 3 to 6 today. And again, Spencer Danielson talks about 11:30. We'll make sure we get that on the BNN YouTube channel today. We're talking to Miller, as you said, and also Keene. We'll get those on the BNN YouTube channel. And Skyship says, don't forget about when you drank all the Gatorade from Genty at practice. Has there ever been a better walk-off? Wow, that's hilarious. All right, Johnny's done, so I guess we are as well. Have a great day. I'll have a story posted this afternoon. Make sure you read Mike Prater's column. Mike Prater wrote about the infatuation with quarterbacks in America. You can read that at BroncoNationNews.com. We appreciate all of our sponsors. Appreciate all you guys for watching. And again, listen to Idaho Sports Talk today, but we are getting some of the coaches, including Spencer Danielson. We'll get that posted to the BNN YouTube channel as soon as possible. Jay Tust will join me tomorrow at 9 a.m. Don't forget tonight, 8 o'clock, the full hour-long interview with Jeff Goodman, 8 o'clock tonight on the Tyson Degenhart Show. And that'll be on the YouTube, Facebook, and X accounts as well. And Saturday, if you're in the area on Saturday, make sure you join us at the James Kitchen and Bar. We'll be live out on the patio at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock with the pregame show out on the patio at the James Kitchen and Bar. So make plans at 5 o'clock to join us. Come by, say hello. We'll be taking care of some Horseshoe Gold nails for fans. You come over and say hello and that you came to stop by, we'll buy you a Horseshoe Gold nail. How about that? So if you want to come have a first beverage on us, say hello to Kent Riddle and Brad Bedell and whoever else is going to stop by. We'll see you Saturday out on the patio at the James Kitchen and Bar at 5 o'clock. Somebody was asking about the voicemails. Honestly, I wasn't sure if you guys liked it. I saw 2 comments yesterday saying that they didn't bring anything to the show. So I like doing them. I think they're fun. I think we're mostly going to use them on the post-game shows. We're going to give that a shot on the post-game show on Saturday. You can give your thoughts and call in after the game, leave a voicemail, and we'll get that on the post-game show. I like the voicemails. I think it's just a new thing. We're not going to bombard the whole show with them, but if we get 2 or 3 a show, just allow you guys to get your voice out there on these options and not just have the comments on the YouTube chat. I thought they didn't really weren't a negative. I thought that they were fine. I thought they were okay, but a couple of you said, they didn't bring anything to the show and you didn't like them. So I wasn't sure what the plan was with that. So I didn't push them for today's show. But if you want to get a voicemail in for tomorrow's show, feel free. The website is SpeakPipe/BNN, SpeakPipe/BNN. Get your comments in and get your voicemail in, and we will, whether it's a question, a comment, whatever, on the game on Saturday, your score predictions. We'll take some of those on tomorrow's show with Jay. And then definitely on the post-game show, make plans when the game ends. You're going to have about 15 minutes after the game ends. Get your voicemail in, and then we'll play some on the post-game show. So good to see a couple of you still like them. Don't listen to the negative guys. They were cool. Let's see. Really like the voicemail idea. Vlad needs to call in. The voicemails were funny. Okay. Well, appreciate those of you guys that were saying that. We'll continue to try to incorporate them into the show as we move forward here. But again, speakpipe.com/BNN. You can leave a voicemail. We'll play some more on tomorrow. You can get your score predictions in for Saturday. We'll play those in the pregame show. And then obviously we want your thoughts, your questions, your concerns, your comments on the post-game show. Similar to calling in, to KTIK or something. You can leave us your voicemail, and we'll play those on the post-game show. So appreciate you guys. Got to hurry down and talk to the coaches and Spencer here in about an hour, and then we'll get those posted to the YouTube channel, as I said. And then, no, we don't know the Utah State game time. That'll come out on Monday. We don't know that yet. Sorry. So that will be on Monday. So awesome. Appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot. Go subscribe if you can to read Mike Prater's column. I got a story about protecting the blue and the home opener and being the last team in college football to have a home game coming out later this evening or tomorrow morning. But a lot going on. We'll have you covered. And again, 5 o'clock on Saturday, join us for the pregame show outside on the patio at the James. Your first Horseshoe Golden Ale is on us. If you do, come say hello. We'd love to see you guys out there. And again, tonight, 8 o'clock, the Tyson Degenhart Show. 9 a.m. tomorrow. Jay Tuss will join me. A lot of programming coming. If you missed Ball Talk with Johnny and Sanford last night, you can go back and watch that on the YouTube channel. Speaking of YouTube, give us that like. Hit that thumbs up. Give us the like on here before you get out of here. We'd really appreciate the like and the YouTube subscription. So if you found or stumbled across our channel, hit that subscribe button down there on YouTube. Help us grow our channel, and we'd really appreciate that. So have a great rest of your day. Check YouTube this afternoon for Spencer Danielson and the coaches. We'll get that video posted, and we'll see you tonight, 8 o'clock, the Tyson Degenhart Show, an hour-long interview with Jeff Goodman, college basketball insider. You're not going to want to miss that one. We'll talk to you then at 8 o'clock. And again, if you want to have your voicemail read on tomorrow's show, speakpipe.com/BNN. We got a new sponsor we'll tell you about for that coming here pretty soon as well. So get those in, speakpipe.com/BNN. And we'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live from the Western Collective Studios. Again on Saturday, make sure you check out that the Orange Chaos Seltzer and the Horseshoe Golden Ale beer. They will both be available at Albertson Stadium. That Horseshoe Golden Ale, the Orange Chaos Seltzer, a portion of the proceeds of every sale goes to support the Horseshoe Collective. So make sure you check out our studio sponsor, Western Collective, and their products Saturday at Albertson Stadium. Rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. All your painting needs. Check them out. Free estimate. They'll come out for free, give you an estimate on painting, all the different things you have. So appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. And again, rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. Have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. Bronco Nation News Live here at bronconationnews.com.